Hello and welcome to a new video. So today I wanted to talk about the new raids items one more time, because I hear a lot of people asking what is the price of this new raid item or what is the price of this new raids item. For example, what price is the Twisted Bow on right now? But there is OSBuddy Exchange, or better said rsbuddy.com/exchange. The link is in the description. And there you can look up all the items, and there in this exchange here, prices come from trades which are done with the OSBuddy client. So if you buy something in the GE with OSBuddy, it's instantly registered on this GE page here, and it instantly puts that price on their graph. So that way, because a lot of people use OSBuddy, about half of the population of old school RuneScape uses it. So half of the trades of all these new items are registered, and you nearly always know the prices of them. Maybe you have a little bit of a range, but you know the general direction. So first let's talk in the same order as last week, and I'll show you all the new prices so you can just keep on playing RuneScape and you will see all the new prices all after each other. So let's hop to that. Okay, the first item I'm going to talk about is the Dragon Claws. So the Dragon Claws started out really high in the GE. So at like 630 mil-ish, they started out on the 5th when the first ones came in game and people bought them so they could start PKing with them immediately. Then they dropped quite harsh to about 400 mil after in the same day, went up a little bit again on the 6th, dropped again on the 6th, and then they stabilized at around a bit more than 400 mil, and then they crashed quite hard over the period of the 7th, and today they crashed to about 160 mil, and now they are back up at around 190 to 200 mil. So on the trade volume, we can see that in the beginning there were traded quite a few. Remember, the trade volume here on OSBuddy is only the ones that are traded on OSBuddy. If you want a full trade volume, go to oldschool.runescape.com and use the GE page there. It will give you the full trade volume, and everything that was traded is listed there. Also remember, some Dragon Claws were traded several times, so there are less Dragon Claws than the trade volume in game, because most people at the moment just buy them, PK with them, sell them again, because they don't want to lose money. So Dragon Claws, first item right now at around 200 mil, started out at a bit over 600 mil, because they are so good for PKing and to create content. Okay, now to the ancestral items. We have the hat, the top and the bottom. The hat started out quite high at 95 mil, went up to 120 mil, and then slowly dropped to the price it's now, or slowly over the last 3 days to the 3 or 4 days to the price we have it right now. It's at about 37 mil. So to the top. The top started out at about 235 mil, went down quite hard to 144 mil, went up again to 199 mil, and now it's balancing out at around 116 mil. It's a really good item to use inside raids because a leg switch isn't always used. So you just take a top switch for mage, and of course the ancestral rope top is the best item for that. So clearly a value in it. The ancestral rope bottom seems like it was stable at around the same price, or yeah, it dropped a little bit, but for a new item it's still at 97 mil and only started out at 130 mil, and that drop is super slow for a new item. If we remember, the Dragon Claws went from over 600 mil down to 200 mil. So ancestral rope bottom at around 97 mil, rope top at around 116 mil, hat at around 37 mil. The amount traded looks really slim on all these items, so prices if you want to insta-buy can vary by a lot. Next item is the Twisted Bow. So the Twisted Bow, because it's so good against many bosses, it started out at max cash. So the first trade was a little bit under max cash and the second trade was exactly at max cash. I don't know why someone put a buy offer for that price in, or if someone put a sell offer for that price in before. Because if you're buying so close to max cash, you can see that's only 1k below max cash. Why not put in max cash anyway? Because the buy chance will increase by a lot if somebody else puts a max cash offer in. So I didn't understand that, but okay. So first it was on max cash, dropped a lot on the 6th to around 1.5 bill, went up to 2 bill again on the evening of the 6th, then went down to now around 1.1 bill. And now it's around 1.1 bill. So if you want a twisted bow, put an offer in for around 1.1 bill at the moment. These prices of course vary a lot. 1 week from now we will see completely different prices probably. And the amounts traded here are quite low because there's only about, on this graph, there's about some traded each day. That's about 5 traded each day or something like that, which isn't really enough for real data, but it's the best data we can get. Now the twisted buckler. So the twisted buckler started out at around 111 mil, went up to 139 mil, and now over the last 3 or 4 days it went down kinda linearly. You could put a linear curve here, quite linearly, and now it's stabilizing out at around 32 mil or 33 to 34 mil, how it says here on the side is right now. And there are quite a lot traded of them for a new item, like how many, that's 3 hours difference always, so about 2 or 3 per hour are traded, which is quite a lot for such a new item. So they are a lot more common than the bows. So the next item I'm going to talk about is the Donets Bulwark, and that one started off at around 349 mil, went down to around 234 mil during the first day, went up a little bit again, and then went all the way down to its lowest point at 63 mil, and now it went up again today to about 85 mil, or 89 mil was the last buy price. Also, you can see in the beginning it was traded quite a few, then it spiked a lot, and this spike is somewhere around here where it started dropping a lot, because that was on 4 in the morning. Right here we can see that's around here actually. So here the spike stopped somehow because someone bought a lot of them to make them rise again, I assume. But it looks like the Donets Bulwark is a good shield, but never worth as much as an ally. And all the people that panicked sold all their allies didn't remember that you can't use a weapon while using it. So, and there isn't really a boss where you need a tank in game right now. So still no real need of use of the Donets Bulwark in the game apart from deep wildy tanking and maybe some certain demi bosses in raids, but I'm not sure which ones really need a tanker. Now to the Dragon Hunter Crossbow. So the Dragon Hunter Crossbow started out at around 167 mil, dropped down quite fast because it's worse than an Armadillo crossbow on everything apart from dragons, and I don't know if anyone is willing to pay 167 mil for a Dragon Hunter Crossbow or to kill dragons. So it dropped down to around 40 mil-ish where it is right now, or 30 mil, 39 mil, but I think it will drop some more like all the items will, because still raids are new, items are cool, everybody wants them, but soon they will drop to a lot lower. So traded volume of those is around 7 an hour, so they're quite common. Next item on my list is the Dragon Harpoon. So the Dragon Harpoon started out at around 36 mil, then went up to 53 mil. Here you can see those are the early buyers that make a quick profit sometimes, but it's always risky as fuck. Then the item went down to where it is now at 12 mil. Still a lot of money for a harpoon. And in the beginning there was actually a bug in game that you couldn't fish sharks with a normal harpoon anymore, but that was patched quite soon after release. Next item is the code I want. The code I want started out quite high at 344 mil, then went down a lot to where it is now at 79 mil. So this price change is probably due to the fact that it will only have a real use in training, because using it in Deep Wildy you can just use a toxic staff after that, because most people don't really care about clicking the barrage, because if you auto cost it you have a 1 tick delay anyway, and most PKers don't want that delay because your target can run 2 squares further in that time. So code I want, cool item, not really worth too much, it's already down to 80 mil. Traded volume is quite low, seems like a quite rare item, about 1 to 2 traded an hour over OS Buddy. Of course, always remember, I'm only talking about the OS Buddy traded volume, because for the other one I would have to open a second page, and the other one is accurate, this one is lower most of the times. It's only about half the traded volume than the actual traded volume. Remember, the next item that came with raids is the Dragon Sword. It started out at around 48 mil, went down to 42. Someone made a good flip and they went up to 65. Then they dropped a lot down to where they are now at around 6 mil. The traded volume of them is around 10 per hour in OS Buddy, or maybe a little bit less, between 5 and 10 per hour, which means they're also a quite common item, or people sell them soon after buying them. I think it's a good alternative for Dragon Scimitar for training if you don't want to do Monkey Menace 1, but no other use. Because of that it's already this low at around 6 mil. It will probably drop some more, but will still keep some value because it's kinda rare like all raids items. Okay, next item is the Elder Maul. It started out at around 290 mil, big biceps, bought one around here, and it went up a lot to around 462 mil. I think he sold his for about 500 mil-ish and made a lot of profit with that, just because he wanted to PK with it. And then it jumped around a little bit and went down to the price it is right now at around 140 mil. I think it went down a little bit more than that. I think it was at 120 mil today once, but for a really short period of time, so here it's not really listed. I bought one around here for 250 mil. I was able to sell it for 225, but I think I could have sold it for a little bit more, but I got too scared. So I can put a clip of it with me PKing in the end of the video actually, because yesterday I went PKing with it on stream. I got like 50 viewers and I was really happy about that, and I got like 1 or 2 really sick kills. But it's not like amazing, it's just a good hard-hitting weapon. But the HS spec is most of the times better. Dragon Throne Axe. So the Dragon Throne Axes started out at around 300k, and then I think Ian Span went PKing with them and they rose hell a lot because people wanted to PK with them as well, and they rose to about 2 mil each. So then they started dropping again, dropped to 128k, rose a little bit again, stabilized at around 150 to 200k, went to 130k. Today Ian Span went PKing with them again and they went up to 180k again. So they're a really good weapon to PK with on a Void Ranger, are fun to PK with, and thus they will stay quite expensive for some time until so many come into the game that the market has too many of them, and then they will fall to a stable price, I assume between 10 and 50k or something like that. Okay, the prayer scrolls. The first item with a graph in the other direction. All the other ones went down, but this one is going up. So it started out at around 130 mil, went up to 270 mil, went down to 200 mil again, up to 260 mil, and now they are at around 280 mil. So why is that? So you need the prayer scroll for every single of the new prayers. So every high leveled account that wants all those 3 prayers, one of them quite useless, the other 2 super good, needs 3 of those scrolls. And they are kind of seem super rare because there's only an average of like 1 traded an hour on OS Buddy and probably around 2 or 3 traded total on the G per hour. So this means only around 70 of them coming into the game a day right now, and everyone wants those prayers. And at the amount of people, those will stay super expensive, I assume. Unless Jagex makes them less rare and people want those prayers for a normal price. Because I assumed that those prayers will be unlocked for about 25 mil long term. Or something like reasonable like that, and not like 300 mil. It's like an Ellie for all the 3 prayers seems a bit much. But okay, that's what Jagex wants. So now prayer scrolls are super expensive. And I don't know, if they stay the same rarity, they probably will stay super expensive. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. It got super long, but I wanted to talk about all the items and all the prices. Right here in the background you can see some PKing with me with the Elder Mole. I hope you enjoyed that as an outro thing. So if you liked the video, give it a like. If you got this far, make a comment. I don't know how many people will watch the whole thing. Otherwise, now you know, just look up OS Buddy Exchange if you want accurate prices on stuff. But remember not to insta-buy those items, because sometimes new items can have huge margins, meaning that the sell and the buy price are hugely apart, and then you overpay for some items. Thank you for watching, and bye.